Okay, so TK spent his first night outside last night. It was rainy, but he's dry inside. There are still a few things that I got to do, clearly. We had some power steering fluid yesterday because that didn't go well. I totally forgot to do that. Got to get those door handles on, and I don't know, a couple other little things. But times now, take a look at the application for the collector motor vehicle. The vehicle needs to be registered in BC and registered to me. Check. Needs to be 25 years old or more. Check. 37. Vehicle customization restrictions. No non-stock parts or accessories that are not on the list on page 5 of the application. Get to page 5 in a second. Vehicle exterior must be clean, detailed, and in excellent original or restored condition with no dents, scrapes, chips, paint blemishes, bubbling, rust, or visible primer. Check. Vehicle repairs. All repairs to the vehicle are completed according to professional practices and standards. Let's hope none of them have YouTube. Let's see. That's page 2. Page 3. Applicant information, statement of applicant. Page 4, signature. Okay, page 5. Let's have a seat for this. Approved parts and accessories list. Wheels and tires, you can change your wheel size, no more than 1 inch. We're good there. Fuel system. You cannot change your fuel system from that which was originally equipped. You cannot change from carburetor to fuel injection. Check. Lights and lamps. You cannot install purple dots on brake lights. Original brake lights. Steering and suspension. You cannot raise or lower your vehicle by more than 1 inch. Our vehicle, because of the addition of the shackles, our vehicle is raised 3/4 of an inch. So we're good there. You cannot add ladder bars, traction bars, or shackles. Our vehicle had shackles, so those are acceptable. You cannot change your leaf springs to coil springs. We did not do that. Interior and upholstery, you cannot add aftermarket hidden audio equipment. We did not. You cannot add aftermarket window tint. We did not. You cannot add steel braided hoses or cables other than brake and fuel lines. We did not. Body and paint. You cannot install a roll cage. We did not. You cannot have any damage anywhere on the vehicle. You cannot have custom paintwork or custom stripes. May cause a problem. I think, with the exception of the TK letter decal on the sides of the hood, we are compliant. I may wind up pulling that hood and sanding it and respraying it. Got some damage on it anyway, so I may wind up doing that. I'll get this filled out, take these ridiculous photos that they want. Must all be taken within 90 days of mailing the application. They must be of the current vehicle condition, taken when the vehicle is clean and dry, taken in a well-lit area, taken straight on, not at an angle, clear and detailed, minimum size of 4 inches by 6 inches, printed on glossy photo paper. Okay. Close-up details showing the following. The VIN number, the body panel, including roof, hood, and trunk lid.
Entire front view, entire rear view, entire left view, entire side view, trunk with the lid open or box with tailgate down, engine compartment, the interior, the entire dashboard, including radio, which is not in yet, all interior door panels, all seats, all seats, non-factory seat covers removed. That's also going to be an issue. That passenger seat is in rough shape. All floor areas with floor mats removed and the headliner. Okay, so
We have a passenger seat that needs some work, and we probably have to get the TK logo off. We can change the color of the vehicle to any color that is offered by the manufacturer for that model in that year. To do a bit of work to do. I gotta somehow figure out now how to repair vinyl seats. Okay. Lord hates a coward. Now that I got a lot of space for activities and arts and crafts, I can install the RLB Hill-On according to strict quality control system, make sure customer are satisfied door handles, which arrived today, just beating the Canada Post strike. Heat up a coffee, get a cigar going, and then we'll see what we can do. There's the two sawtooth pieces. So the handle goes in and these two sawtooth pieces go up the side. Then you just lift and push. And another one should go on the other side the same way. Hopefully this goes fairly quick. Because we have no door handle right now, we're just going to grab that bar, push it down, and it should open us up. And we can do all our work from the inside. Theoretically, this goes in. Saw blade goes up, and in order for it to go up, you need to pry that little bar. Okay, other piece. And lastly, this little tiny cotter pin has to fit back. There we go. And it's on. Okay, so with that reconnected, I should, theoretically, be able to put this panel back on. Goes underneath this seal. There-ish. 5 more bolts and I'm getting rid of another bag. Well, it looks like we may actually have an opportunity to get some money back on this whole thing. The Knight Rider 50-inch light bar, which was proudly mounted atop TK prior to restoration, can't go back on in order for it to be collectors. So getting all that paint off of there, clean these up. I'm gonna try and pull the cable out, see if I can sell her on Facebook. Who knows? Maybe you'll watch this and you'll need one of these light bars. Call me. Mounts, which are aluminum. I got them soaking a little bit to get the paint off. They were oxidized pretty good from sitting out in the weather. So I'm gonna get them all sanded off, repaint them. Now, in order to get that up on Facebook, I'm going to need to get the cable out of TK. How many different places did you need to be strapped on there, buddy? There's one end. then he goes through the firewall. So that monster light bar that we pulled off, what I want to do is I want to put this smaller light bar down here. And in order to do that, in order to get that light bar, I got to deal with all of this mess. That's actually for the toggle switch. This was the old light cable that used to run on the side of the window frame. So I got to shorten all these now and run it through to the front so that we have some proper fog lights instead of that big blinding stadium light thing, which is going to go on the marketplace pretty quick. First thing I'm going to do is take this, this junctions into that switch there, but it doesn't need to be this long. So I'm going to cut it. I'm going to cut it there. I'm going to take all of this crap off and cut it again. Let's see. I probably need. We're outside again, which means the headlamp is on. Now that I got the, so the wiring is run for the light bar. It used to run through that little hole right there in the engine wall. And I've rerun the wiring now from the switch. There's the switch underneath the dashboard. And it goes to the relay, which is right here, is the relay. And then continues along on this loom cable. And this loom cable right here continues along, joins into the headlamps so that it is not on when the headlamps are not. And lastly, power goes down. And right now it's hanging at the bottom, right there. We get a little electrician's tape going and tape up these spots where it joins. So I got a couple here and a couple back here, where those have got to be tidied up. I'm going to cut it there. So get rid of this extra 3 feet. I'll strip these back, reconnect them, and then we'll have a much shorter bit. Very good news update. The Knight Rider 50-inch light bar sold for $200. So that's $200 coming off the overall cost of the restoration. I'll take that. I don't know how long it's going to take. I've been working for about an hour and a half now trying to get all the... This fella also came off TK, who's sitting proudly and majestically in the background, of course. So I'm going to try and clean this up. I've got the rollers are sitting there. The rust bath that I used on the plate is now being used on this cable. I'm going to roll that around a little bit. It's going to take some time for sure, but I'm just going to continue sanding away on this guy. Well, this seems like a reasonable candidate to use up the balance of the rust dissolver gel. I'm going to try it on the motor, and then on the spool here. It's heavy, right? Like this thing, they're heavy. So getting it over there to rinse it off is going to be a bit of a pain. Gloves and rust dissolver gel. Oh dear, 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 dear. Come on. Oh! You are only making this harder on yourself. Rust bath for you. Okay, the cable for this winch is now sat in rust dissolver gel overnight. It's nice and gross. So I'm going to take this towel over here, which is also nice and gross, and clean them up. It was a lot more work than I thought it was going to be. Okay, now still going to have some of that gel on it, so I'm just going to fire it all into this next tub, fill it full of water, rinse it off, then dry it off, which will hopefully be the last time I have to run through the thing, and then spray it down. Find where it begins now. Start this process over again. Anyway, there we go. I'm gonna put a strap on that so I can hold it flat. Dry them down a little bit, and then into the bath. I don't know what I'm gonna do with all of that. Apparently you can reuse it. So I want to get this face cleaned up on this winch, but I don't want to get too far into disassembly because God knows what would happen with my luck. Seems to me like the best way to be able to get it clean is to take this brake off. It looks like it's got a, I'm assuming this is not asbestos coated, but it looks like there's a brake here. So if I unscrew these couple of pins, unscrew these couple of nuts, I should be able to get this brake off. What do you suppose the chances are with that pattern that that's asbestos on that brake? I wonder what this would be. I'm gonna put the respirator on for a little bit though. Yeah. So the TSP did a pretty good job of cleaning that up. Now, I gotta get the pick in here into all these little areas. So it's been waxed good with the TSP. Got in there really good with the cotton pads and some Q-tips. Throw a little WD-40 on it, and then they can kind of sit and dry. Let her sit. Okay, try and slide him back in. Get the fuck in there. Okay, so now that we've got this guy as tidied up as he's going to get, it's time to get the cable back on. So one end of it's going to feed through this hole. I think it sort of self-guides into here and then gets screwed down into place with this Allen key. It can then be rolled back up, and then we'll see what it looks like. This end that will be going in. Go. Now, there should be a simple case of rewinding, and that'll be fun.
And people that are really closer to the Iranian regime than the interests of the American people.
Just painted that.
I think
Doesn't work anyway. Like full water. Been practice. So probably not going to do anything.
I worked so hard.
Territory to end the war, to potentially try to get it back diplomatically.
We got the motor off, and that's what it looks like inside.
The trade war's going on. It's like, it's good stuff like in regular wars. You want to keep the trade with the fact that social security, Medicare, and defense, and interest are about 75% of our spending.
Yeah.
So you sort of an inflationary tariff, essentially. Tariffs are essentially taxes on foreign firms, but we have a lot of trade barriers and taxes on domestic firms, and most of our trade don't include packaging features like side flow, infinite recline to enhance comfort.
So I take the motor off. We'll see if we can get that thing going. It seemed like the motor was a little bit seized. The gears are all running good. Drained all the oil out of it. And as that motor's off, rather than refilling from here, I figure it's just as easy to refill from the other side. All right. Doesn't that look fancy?
You want a hand with that? And probably a little lighter without that motor, but still.
It is a little lighter, but okay. Williams, I'm gonna hand putting this guy back in.
It's got to roll. Remember, that's going to go, I think, this way. Because that was put to the front, I think, wasn't it, before? Instead of going up underneath.
There you go.
Okay, and kind of up and down at the back. Rock and roll it.
Tappy? Yeah. We got the bolts there.
Yep, working on it.
Oh, man. That on, that's fine.
Okay, so it'll probably work now that it's freewheeling. It probably
That should be
works,
Yeah. Very good news update number 2. The winch wound up selling for $200. So that's $200 coming off the restoration cost of TK. So I'll take that too. Added a little benefit. Living on Haida Gwaii, it's awful difficult to find used parts, But the other day, taking a drive, I bumped into this. I'm gonna go scour it a little bit, see what it has, reach out to the owner, see if he's interested in parting a little bit of it out. Might take the brother with me. Be a good ride to come along on. Whilst matriculating one day to the recycle depot, I happened to look to my right and stumbled across.
Different, eh? It doesn't have the handle on the outside.
Oh,
like your old one.
I didn't even know it opened up.
Yeah, you open the bottom first and it
Oh.
like your old one.
Oh. The island has itself a salvage YJ. And it's got some good sized holes in the bottom of it. Look at the four-wheel drive shifter.
Yeah.
There's a
Little
wooden
barbecue
knob.
handle, a barbecue poker.
All right. So the salvage run is part done. Turns out there is a rustier Jeep than TK on this island. So we've got to come back with a little bit of heavier weaponry to finish it off. But here's what we got so far. Plus there's a couple other things left still to get for $100. We got the new glove compartment door with a hinge that actually works. We got a new heater control. The heater control is it's upside down. It's in better shape out here. And we have all of the parts moving. And we don't have broken sliders. One window winder, because mine are all wobbly, I guess is the term. There's another window winder that I gotta go back and get. This one also is black, which I like. Got a pair of hydraulic trunk struts. The reason these ones are different is because clearly mine has aftermarkets on it. These are original and they've got connectors right here. They've got electrical connections so that you can plug in your rear window defrost. We have these cables that were hanging out of the back of TK that didn't really go anywhere, and here's why. It's because they connect at both ends of the two struts. For the license plate holder, this one is going to need to go in the rust bath, clearly. And it's got both springs working. Got a replacement wiper fluid reservoir that actually is not loaded up with caulking on the bottom with an exterior motor. This one has the motors properly. Obviously this one, the Jeep that it came off of, has rear wipers, which mine does not, so only one of these motors is going to wind up being used. It's got the upper exhaust. This is where it'll connect into the manifold, and this turn right here is where we were doing all the repairs on episode 13, and what is still in place down on TK right now is a huge crack right here that we couldn't fix. It goes around right into here. So this will replace all of that mess. Oh, I got a door strap. Only needed one door strap, so I got a door strap. Anyway, I think it's time to end chapter 14. Our previous costs are here. Our new costs, which are substantially lower because of the sale of the winch and the light bar, are here, which makes our new grand total here. So thanks very much for watching. Tune in to chapter 15, because in chapter 15 is when I'm going to get all the photos together and get that off to ICBC and see if we can get this thing qualified for collector plate status. Might also get it out on the road a little bit in the early mornings. Maybe, maybe not. Anyway, thanks for watching. Like and subscribe, and we'll check you on chapter 15.